This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. If you take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
It's the Russell Reed Show.
Welcome to the Russell Reed Show, ladies and gentlemen. On this Thursday evening, we have a phone interview coming up with Autumn Scorzin from Autumn's Tipsy Treats here in just a couple minutes. She was running real late, so we went from being a in-studio interview to a phone interview. So hang tight with that. And first order of business, September 20th. September 20th. Doors open up at 8 p.m. Shows start at 9. It's the Msc Radio Network 7th Annual Uncensored Net Noise Birthday Bash. That's going to be at the Rock City Tap House at 5324 State Road. It's right here in Parma, Ohio. It's $8 at the door. If you're 21 and under, add a $3 cover charge to that. Morality Check's going to be there. The Burning Harlots, Darling Waste, and Necris Obscura, hope I'm saying that right, will be the bands performing. Again, that's September 20th. Doors open up at 8. Shows start at 9 o'clock. And joining me right now from Autumn's Tipsy Treats is Autumn. How you doing, sweetie?
Good. How are you?
Very well. Welcome to the show. Telling the people that you're up to your neck in beer and cupcake batter.
Yes, I am. We've got the brown season upon us, and we are just inundated with frosting and cupcake and alcohol. Good
things. All good things. Now,
yeah, it is.
Now, without you have a patent pending application in which you basically have a cupcake that is equivalent to 1 shot of alcohol. How'd you come up with this process without giving up the patent? But how'd you come across this idea?
Well, I was overseas. I was doing some traveling, and when I was in Melbourne, Australia, I was downtown, and they had cupcake shops on every single corner, and they were serving little tiny cupcakes, and I just thought, wow, the novelty of a small cupcake is so much better than a full-size cupcake because I can eat 5 or 6 and not feel as guilty, and I'm indulging in several different flavors. It was just really awesome. So I immediately fell in love. And one of the flavors that they had was daiquiri. And while I was eating it, I said, I'm going to get trashed off this cupcake. But the lady behind the counter quickly turned me down, and she said, absolutely not. The alcohol's all baked out during the baking process. And it was just in that moment that I thought, wow, wouldn't that be really cool if I could create a cupcake where you could keep the alcohol inside the cupcake and not bake it out?
And you found the process, and
yeah, when I came home, started tinkering with some recipes, and when we finally figured it out, got it patented, and here we are.
Very cool. Now, gotta ask.
Yep.
These cupcakes are enough. If you have enough of them, can you get a DUI?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Definitely cannot drink. It's just the same as any, drinking a shot or a cocktail. You can't cupcake and drive with ours.
You can't cupcake and drive. Now, and when you promote these, you go to bars, and these are not for kids' birthday parties, correct?
Absolutely. We do make virgin cupcakes. However, what we are known for is our cupcake shots. So when adults eat them, you have to be very careful. Just like you would any other alcoholic beverage, you got to keep them out of the reach of the children.
Okay, and what flavors do you concoct? I mean, is it just basically made to order for the alcohol in which you would like?
Well, yeah. I mean, we have over 60 flavors, and we try to come up with a new flavor every month. All of the cupcakes, for the most part, can be interchangeable. If your preference is rum versus vodka, we can do that. However, we do have a baseline of what we feel this cupcake flavor does best with, and so on and so forth.
Okay, and so, I mean, the icing and all that, you did a lot of research and thinking what alcohol will go best with, this type of cake, this type of frosting, and all that.
Exactly.
And
yeah, exactly.
How many of them did you have to ingest to come up with these concoctions?
Oh, well, every single one. I do have a team of very diligent taste testers, but for the most part, it's myself.
Okay, and you've been doing this since 2012 or 2011?
Well, we started the process of discovering, like the patent and everything in 2011, but we didn't start making sales until 2012.
Now, do you need to have a liquor license to do what you do, or is that completely different because you're not?
No. For the most part, the state of Ohio does not regulate the use of alcohol in foods. However, from our insurance perspective, because we maintain the integrity of the alcohol and we ourselves know how much alcohol is actually inside the cupcake, we do have to have a liquor license, and that's a morality thing. We just want to make sure we're covered, and again, if you can't serve your cupcake shot to somebody who's pregnant or somebody who's underage, especially a child, then you need to make sure you're taking the proper precautions, which we do.
Okay, and so you basically, for lack of anything intelligent on my end, you run your business like you're running a bar. I mean, same rules, same procedures, and everything like that.
We do ID. We take special precautions to ID our customers, especially because right now we do orders online and through the phone. We do ID everybody. Okay,
and what if someone wanted to order cupcakes from you? Tipsytreats.com. That's TIPSE, correct?
Yep.
And
TIPSE.
And you just want to and you spell it a little bit different because as I found out, there are several other Tipsy Treats out there, but none of them do what you do.
No.
And you got an Indians contract where you sold your Tipsy Treats at the Indians games, and
yes, we did.
And you're doing the Browns.
Yeah, now we're at the Brown Stadium, and this will be our first game, so we're really excited.
And where can we find you at the Brown Stadium?
We will be in the suites, so you have to have a pass to the suites, and then you can get our cupcakes.
Okay.
But we will also be in the Muni lot. We'll be at Barley House, and we'll be at the Grayton Road Tavern.
Okay, and how many are you in the process of making?
We have about 700 cupcakes we have to make for this Sunday.
Okay, and that's just for the stadium, or is that including the Barley House and everybody else?
That's including the 3 promotional events that we have, not including the orders we have on top of that.
Okay, and do you have a bakery? Is this out of your house? I mean, that's a lot of cupcakes.
We currently operate out of a commercial bakery in Parma, but we are looking at a space downtown, and hopefully we'll have a lease signed here by the end of the month.
Okay, and with the alcohol, how long can they sit out without the alcohol evaporating out of the cupcake? I mean, can they sit and have a storefront type of thing, or is there a shelf life that you have to worry about?
Well, here's the thing. Like you said, alcohol does evaporate, and it evaporates pretty quickly, especially in small amounts, which is a huge discrepancy because, funny enough, there are a lot of cupcake companies all of a sudden starting to make cupcake shots. However, because we're patented, they can't do it exactly like we do. But their attempts to do it like we do are just not the same. They don't put them in the fridge, which immediately is going to evaporate the alcohol. And putting it, because we're a shot, and I mean that, we are a full shot. So when you take a bite in it, it's better cold. It sets the cupcake. Otherwise, the alcohol is just going to burn the sugar of the cake, and it's just going to fall apart. Okay,
and so you have 700 cupcakes, and yours on top of that. That's a big fridge.
Yeah, it's a couple big fridges.
Now, how do you get your alcohol? I mean, do you just go do you have an account somewhere? I mean, because I'm assuming you're going to have to buy it in mass quantity.
Yeah, we work with, normal liquor agencies and stuff, but we also have lots of sponsorships. We work really closely with, like Suavecito Tequila, for instance, and there's a lot of local vodka companies and whiskey companies here in Cleveland that we are close with. So we try to work with other small businesses, and we do have sponsorship.
Okay, and what was the very first alcoholic cupcake you made?
Upside down pineapple, which is really funny because I'm not even crazy about pineapple, so I'm not sure why that was my first one. Maybe it was because that was the ingredients I had on hand, but it was the first one, and it was pretty good. It was like the aha moment.
Okay, and now you have rum-flavored whiskey. Do you do Jack Daniels, Jim Beam? I mean,
oh yeah, we use everything. Pretty much we even source our liquors out of state to achieve some of the highest top shelf products you can find. We love using rare flavors and rare alcoholics. So
okay.
I bet you I know one that she does not have.
Okay. Did you hear that, Adam?
Sorry?
Did you hear Chris said he knows one you probably don't have?
What?
Moonshine. You have that one?
That one's under the shelf.
Yeah, because Everclear, there's certain... Now, how do you get around the laws of Ohio? Because there are a lot of liquors, like Everclear being one of them, that you can't get in Ohio. Are you able to bring them in without getting in any trouble?
Well, we haven't used Everclear. We do use some, like 151s and some other pretty potent alcohols, but we haven't really addressed that. Of course, we won't do anything that's going to get us in trouble, but again, the use of alcohol in foods is not regulated in the state of Ohio.
Really?
So it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Now, is there a specific percentage of alcohol you use in your cupcakes, or just?
It's 1 ounce. It's 1 ounce per cupcake.
Okay,
It is.
Okay,
sorry,
what's the percentage of alcohol?
Like what proof it is?
Yes, what the proof?
It just depends on what alcohol it is that we're using. If
Okay.
it's, Pinnacle or Three Olives or whiskey, I mean, it all varies. Rums typically are lower in proof because they're based around a sugar versus vodka that, it's a potato and based product. So they're a lot stronger. So, again, it's just preference. And when people place orders and they're not really sure where to start, we'll ask you, what's your favorite kind of alcohol? What's your go-to drink when you go to the bar? And then we'll go from there to help you find your favorite cupcake.
What's your weirdest concoction that someone requested?
I wouldn't say anybody requested it, but I think our weirdest concoction is we have a sweet barbecue cupcake, and we also have a French toast maple bacon that we are famous for.
French toast maple bacon?
Yes, we made the recipe ourselves. I mean, you'll see French toast cupcakes, you'll see maple bacon cupcakes, but I've never seen the two together, so I thought, well, this is the perfect time, because who doesn't love bacon on their French toast in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good, yeah. Sign me up.
And those are virgin ones, or is there alcohol induced in those also?
No, when we make the virgin cupcakes, they are completely alcohol-free.
I mean,
put the alcohol.
No, I was going to say with the maple bacon one, what alcohol do you put in with that?
We use maple vodka.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you ever do any beers?
We do, actually. We recently partnered with World of Beers in Lakewood, and we're putting together a flight for them that they'll have on their menu. So, yeah, we do a lot of beers. We have a root beer that we're working on, and just a lot of really fun things. I think craft beers are really fun to work with.
Okay, and how long from beginning to end does a typical batch take you to make?
Well, that's a hard question. Definitely a lot longer than just making a normal batch of cupcakes because of the process that we have to do with inserting the alcohol. It definitely adds an additional few hours. But, a normal batch of a couple hundred cupcakes will easily take a couple of hours. We get them done pretty fast because we got it down to a T now. But the added process of putting the alcohol, it takes a little bit more time.
And you are now patented?
Not yet, but we're still pending. But, it's a long process. Legally, the USPTO office really puts you through the ringer when you go through this kind of things. But we do have full legal right over the products. We have successfully taken someone to court already. So even though we're only pending, doesn't mean that people can go ahead and try to jock our stuff.
Yeah, I'm just because of that. There are questions which I'd like to ask, but I don't know if they'll be giving up trade secrets. Basically, when do you put the alcohol in?
Well, the alcohol goes in after baking. That's no secret at all. We like people to know that because that's what makes it a shot. Essentially, telling you what I can is that we dehydrate the cupcake. It's we remove part of the liquid in the batter and then replace that liquid with the alcohol afterwards.
Okay.
It's a lot more than just that, but that is what I can tell you.
Yeah, because that's one of the things I did say with the patent pending. I didn't want to give away a lot of trade secrets and all that, but there are a lot of people I spoke with at work that a lot of them were chefs. They had so many questions they wanted me to fire out, and I'm like, I can't. Something about the alcohol and the breakdown of glucose, and I'm like, you guys realize who you're talking to? I'm not going to remember these. Well,
now, that's exactly where you're headed, though.
Yeah, so when you have a sugary cupcake, or I should say an alcohol that's really high in sugar, do you just, when you make the batter, do you just go lighter on the sugar?
No, absolutely not. I guess in perspective, it's all kind of balanced out. We have all of our recipes down to a T so that they're all even and made out. But for the most part, if sugary vodka is involved, we'll counteract it with maybe, a light buttercream frosting.
Do you have tours that come in and maybe show people how to put these things together, or just have people come in and do taste testing at the bakery, or do you do that at all?
Because we're in a commercial kitchen, no, but we are hoping to have the storefront up and running pretty soon. So, with any luck, we will be able to offer something like that.
Yeah, the reason why I asked because Great Lakes Brewing Company down there on 25th, they have the whole brewery, and you can actually go in there and watch them how they make it, and so on and so forth. They're, behind glass or whatever, and it's really fascinating. And I like to come in once you guys get in there just to check it out.
Yeah, I think that we would like to offer something like that. Of course, we'll still have to keep some things secret, but we will do something like that.
And the diabetics. How bad is this? Do you have a sugar-friendly version for the diabetics out there?
Yeah, we do have sugar-free. Now, obviously, we can't take the sugar out of the vodka, and we can't take the sugar out of any fruits, but we do have products that we can use that are diabetic-friendly, as well as vegan and as well as gluten-free.
Okay. And vegan and gluten-free.
Yep.
And did you take any culinary classes, or is this just through a lot of trial and error?
I grew up baking. My grandma, my great-grandma, my mom, all, they're off-the-boat Ukrainians, so I was always raised in a very crafty, creative family, especially in the kitchen. It's just something I've always loved. I've never gone to school formally for it, but here we are. It's just one of those things you're born with it, I guess.
How many calories are one of your cupcakes?
A lot.
A lot.
If you're counting calories, you have no business eating my cupcake. But then again, you have no business eating any cupcake.
Okay, I mean, I've seen pictures. They are, I mean, about the size of a shot. So I would
Yeah, they're little
assume,
cupcakes.
yeah, they would be the calories in the alcohol and the calories in the batter. So you almost would double up on your calories.
Right.
Okay.
I have another question for you. You've seen all these different reality TV shows that are out there and like that Georgetown Cupcakes. Have you been approached by any TV networks to maybe, do any kind of reality show with you?
Shark Tank.
No, I mean, we have been approached to do Cupcake Wars, which we just don't feel is, really up our alley because we do something so different. And again, Shark Tank, which we have considered, we have to leave that left unsaid if we will do that or not.
Okay. And there really is a show, Cupcake Wars?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw that from an old TV show they went on, and I just thought it was part of the bit.
I mean, it's an okay show. To me, it's boring. I mean, it's like all the other cooking shows that are out there. You have to put a cupcake together in so much amount of time, and it's got to be this, that, and the other. And you got these three uptight judges that will judge you for taste and the how the cupcake is, and so on and so forth. And it's just I don't know. It's just a waste of time if you ask me.
Now,
yeah, that's how I feel.
Cleveland's got a lot of celebrity chefs out there. Anyone try yours and really like yours? Your cupcakes?
Yeah, actually, Brant he's the head chef at Pura Vida downtown, is a big fan, as well as Mike Woolman, who's a food critic here in Cleveland. He's a huge fan, and so far we've just received rave reviews. We're doing really well.
Very cool.
Have you tried Michael Simon yet?
No, but we are working with his interior designer, so hopefully we'll infiltrate Michael Simon.
Nice.
Just like Christmas time, just leave a cupcake on the desk.
Right, exactly. Make sure it has two shots in that one.
Alan Cox, I know he's a little local celebrity. Alan Cox, radio show. He loves our cupcakes as well as Eric Warren and everybody on there. So,
and
they've had us on a few times.
Okay, and give everybody your website.
Website is tipsytreats.com, and that's tipsy spelled Tipse, not with a Y.
Because someone else owns the Y. As strange as that sounds.
That's why we are with an E.
And to place orders, you go to the website. You got to be 21 and over.
Yep.
And anything else, and if you would, the girls are sugar babies?
Yes, we have sugar babies.
Okay.
That work the promotions for us. They're all for hire if you have an event with like our girls work in your event. But they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, tell Rachel I said hello. It's been a while.
I will.
And you got this from when you were modeling in Australia. You liked the idea, brought it back, and did you meet a lot of resistance with people saying, "Oh, you're out of your mind"? You can't.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. In the beginning, it was really hard, and even still to this day, we get a lot of criticism. But it's mostly people, I think, that are just in disbelief that we've come so far and we're doing so well.
They're jealous. That's all it is, because they didn't think of the idea first.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
So, are you any plans to do the Cavaliers or the Monsters or anyone like that? Or
we are currently in negotiations with the Q right now. We're just figuring out some marketing and some details, but you can pretty much bet that we will be there this winter.
Okay, and you're going to have a table up Sunday in the Muni lot?
Yeah, well, we'll be walking around in the Muni lot so that we can really get everybody.
Could you imagine the cupcakes being at the casino? Oh. How much money the casino would make because they'd be so drunk? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, that would be crazy.
Well, we're talking to them, too, right now.
That'd be awesome if you got them in there.
You just keep your fingers crossed.
And, yeah, but then you're going to, I mean, right now you're small. You know, there's just a few of you, so you could really pay attention to detail. What would happen if you keep getting bigger and bigger and get more commercialized? I mean, would this attention to detail still be there, or Do you think it would lose a little bit over the mass production?
No, absolutely. If anything, our detail is going to just become that much more oriented as the bigger we get.
I'm kind of curious now. I own MSC. You know, where the station that Russell's on, though. I don't know. I'm just thinking, did you ever maybe try to make a birthday cake?
Cupcake?
Well,
an actual cake?
An actual cake. You know, it's the same consistency as a cupcake almost. You know, couldn't you?
We do make alcoholic cakes.
Yeah.
We just opened the line. Of course, we do virgin cakes as well. That's something that we're really not going to break into until we have the storefront, just because we need more space, we need more fridge. But we do plan on having a complete couture cake line. We hope to become Cleveland's premier cake company. You
know what we should do, Russell? Invite her to the birthday bash and tell her to bring a sample for everybody there or something.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a couple dozen of them or something like that, just to sample them out there. I'm sure she'd get a lot of reviews down there at the birthday bash this year.
Yeah, the birthday bash.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be September 20th, which is a Friday.
Right.
It's right down the road.
It's right down the road from you. It's at the Rock City Tap House in Parma.
Okay.
Five.
Keep us informed.
I will, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you all the information on it.
Okay.
And now, when you do the cake, how much alcohol goes in the cake? If you put a shot into a cupcake, do you put a bottle into a cake?
No, it just depends on the size of the cake and how many people you plan on serving, because, again, it's another special way of infusing the cake so that it is still balanced.
Okay.
But it'll average out, so a normal slice will be about, one shot. It's more of a taste thing than it really is, I'm going to get drunk.
Okay.
More of the novelty. Like, we have an alcoholic cake.
Could you imagine a bottle of Jack in there? in a cake, a bottle of Jack in a cake, dude, and someone starts eating it. Just one person. God, they would be so blitzed off their butt. They wouldn't know what to do.
Have you been drinking? No, officer, I haven't.
No, I've been eating
cupcakes all day.
I've been eating. That's it.
And I am so intrigued by. I mean, I have an idea how the alcohol goes in there, but I'm not going to go to. I think it's kind of the way they put the jelly in the jelly donuts. Is my thinking.
Oh, well, actual putting the alcohol into the cupcake is not, doesn't take brain science to figure that out. But how do you keep the it's more of the science behind how do you keep the alcohol in there so that it doesn't fall apart, and what consistency this thing. The minute you add something different to the batter, the minute you add a flavoring, the minute you add an acid, or the minute you add more sugar or less sugar, or, even with the gluten-free and the vegan, it makes a whole new monster. So each recipe is incredibly specified to what it's going to react with, and with alcohol, because, again, it reacts differently with vodkas, with rums, with whiskeys.
And
it's a lot of chemistry. So actually putting the alcohol inside the cupcake's not so much a secret as it is the process of doing it.
And what's the hardest alcohol to bake with?
Well, again, we're not baking with any alcohol.
Well,
so the hardest alcohol to use inside the cupcake, the higher the alcohol content. So like 151, the higher the alcohol content, the higher proof it is, the harder it is to work with.
I was just thinking, you have a cupcake with 151 in there, and you put a candle on there for someone's birthday, the trouble that could cause.
Well, we do have cupcakes that you can actually light on fire.
Oh, man, I try to be funny, and here you come bouncing off. Yeah, we got that. We could set that on fire. I am so honored that you came in, and Autumn, congratulations with all your success. Thank
you so much.
From doing it from at home to having your kitchen to representing the Browns, the Indians. You're going to take this city over big time. I've heard nothing but great things about it. That's Ott's Tipsy Treats. That's tipsytreats.com, TIPSE. And your phone number?
You can reach us at 440-262-5531.
Very cool. And look for you at the Muni lot. What are you going to be wearing? So, Look for the pretty girls with the
Well, you
cupcakes,
can't miss us.
obviously.
We will be the cupcake girls. You cannot miss us. Of course, we're going to be representing the Browns, so we will be in our Browns gear, but we will be the only ladies there walking around with cupcake shops.
Very cool. And, hopefully no one will eat too many and go streaking on the field. Or if they do, make sure they have your logo on it because, you always need the promotions. Autumn, thank you very much for coming on, and get back to your multitudes of baking. And, we'll try to get you in studio here down the road sometime when things die down for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. That's Autumn from Tipsy Treats. We're going to take our break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hang tight.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. The following message is for those with a credit score of 800 and below. Who wouldn't want better credit? Did you ever wonder how different life would be from just having a higher credit score? Are you tired of being turned down for any kind of loan, or only offered high interest rates because your credit score is holding you prisoner? Life doesn't have to be that way anymore with access to Turnscor. By increasing your credit score only 50 to 100 points, it can potentially save you tens of thousands of dollars in interest over just a 5 to 10 year period. It can be the difference in getting approved for a personal loan, business loan, high limits on credit cards, a brand new car lease, or even a home mortgage. We see so many ads from companies that give us our credit score, but once we get our credit score, what are they going to do to actually repair your credit? Unfortunately, nothing. Until now, Turnscor is the first automated credit repair platform that is simple, safe, and secure. You'll be empowered right from the comfort of your own computer, so you can challenge and repair your credit report to ensure it's fair and accurate. Turnscor is specifically developed with you in mind. There's no more need for an attorney, credit repair companies, or credit counseling. More importantly, no more need for paying higher fees. Turnscor will help you get back on track and get the buying power you need. So whether you have bad credit, average credit, or even good credit, Turnscor is helping turn lives around one credit score at a time. Go to turnscor.com and enter the promo code MSC20 and get $20 off your purchase. That's TURNSCOR.com. TURNSCOR.com. Turnscore.com. Heard of the 7 deadly sins?
You are evil! Pure evil! Pure evil!
They're nothing compared to Uncensored Net Noise's 7th annual birthday bash.
But I gotta do this.
Friday, September 20th at the Rock City Tap House in Parma. Live on stage, it's Morality Check, Necros Obscura, The Burning Harlots, Darling Waste, and more for this amazing all-ages show.
Because of your words, I'm not ready to destroy.
All the details for the 7th annual Uncensored Net Noise Birthday Bash at MSCRadioNetwork.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Hey, local bands and unsigned artists. What if I told you there was a place in Cleveland where you can get your merch made and have it sold in one location? What if I said you could bring your CDs and tickets to upcoming shows to this location? And what if I said you could do live acoustic sets at this location? I bet you're thinking there's no such place in Cleveland. Guess what? You'd be wrong. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland, and tell him you need merch made and you want to sell it in his store. Now, how cool is that? You can tell your fans to come down and get your stuff, and I think he'd ship your products to your fans. And he's local. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland today. 216-622-0377. That's 216-622-0377. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. Heat 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningshowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. Call the show toll-free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on MorningshowCentral.com. With hundreds of live weather products and layers and thousands of combinations, Weather Studio provides a professional graphics and storm monitoring solution without complex user knowledge and without the industry standard price tag of $1,000 plus broadcast systems. Weather Studio displays a plethora of critical atmospheric and geophysical data on an interactive GIS-enabled computer map. Get your free 14-day trial of Weather Studio at their website, weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. That's weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment, and they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com. Or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768. User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningshowCentral.com.
I know. Oh my God, I know what we're gonna do. Oh, it's so delicious, I can almost taste it.
If you're looking for the best sub shop in town, look no further. Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue, is the place for you. Stop in for a cold cut sub, cheeseburger and fries, wingdings and fries, and so much more.
I can almost taste it.
Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue is open 24 hours a day. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/burrito crazy. And if you mention MSC Radio Network, you'll get $1 off your meal. It's all good at Hanini Subs.
So damn good.
Heard of the 7 deadly sins?
You are evil! Pure evil! Pure evil!
They're nothing compared to Uncensored Net Noise's 7th annual birthday bash.
But I gotta do this.
Friday, September 20th at the Rock City Tap House in Parma. Live on stage, it's Morality Check, Necros Obscura, The Burning Harlots, Darling Waste, and more for this amazing all-ages show.
Because of your words, I'm now ready to destroy.
All the details for the 7th annual Uncensored Net Noise Birthday Bash at MSCRadioNetwork.com. Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one Farmville request at a time.
Welcome back to the show, Russell Reed. On this Thursday evening, hey, when you have a chance, go and sign up on www.russellreedshow.com. While you're signing up on the page, check out all the archive shows. And again, September 20th, doors open up at 8 p.m., shows start at 9. Msc Radio Network, 7th Annual Uncensored Net Noise Birthday Bash. It's going to be at the Rock City Tap House, located 5324 State Road in Parma, Ohio. $8 at the door. If you're 21 and under, add an additional $3 cover charge. Morality Check, Nexus Obscura, The Burning Harlots, and Darling Waste.
You did it so good the last break. With the name, it's Necris.
Necris.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I can't pronounce anything to save my life.
That's all right.
One of the weirder things I noticed over the weekend, a man, I should just forget about trying to pronounce it, but got to give him credit. It's Geronimo Narcisio or something to that. Well, he was a truck driver, and the poor soul expired. Many people have unique ways of going to the next level. He did a Maxwell Smart. It's about the only thing I could say. He put the gun into his waistband, and he did not miss it by that much. He blew his tallywhacker off, to which he bled to death before he could get to the hospital. The police said there were no signs of foul play. Really? I mean, I don't know. The worst part is Florida, Arizona, and the state of Washington in 2012 all had reports of accidental penis shootings. So the story basically is, if,
maybe they had too many cupcakes. I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea why you would. I don't know. I've had those cupcakes, and they will knock you on your keister. The other odd thing is Metallica will be performing September 21st. Not unusual, but the location is going to be different. It's going to be at the greatest facility, most popular in New York, the Apollo nightclub. That's in the middle of Harlem. It's housed Michael Jackson and everybody else, but Metallica. I guess they're going to be there doing a 3D concert action film called Metallica Through the Never. It's going to be released on IMAX, I think at the end of September, and other theaters a week later. And it's also going to be aired on Sirius XM for the subscribers by invitation only. Why they would decide to go to Harlem to do this is beyond me. And other local news, Ariel Castro was found to get a stiff neck while he was incarcerated. He apparently hung himself, is the word coming out of the prison facilities, and that is the second person in the prison systems that have committed suicide. One gentleman, I can't remember his name. It was a couple weeks ago. He was on death row, and he hung himself a day or two before he was scheduled to be executed. And, the prison officials are a little concerned about all this. They're saying if Castro was on suicide watch, there would have been nothing in that cell for him to hang himself. But, he held 3 young women for 11 years, and he couldn't last 3 days, about 3 months in an air-conditioned cell.
Actually, it was a month, because if you really think about it, the other prison. Well, it wasn't even a prison; it was a jail. It was a county jail. It's where he was up, where he was. He was actually physically in prison for 1 month.
And was that where he was being held, or is that just the?
Well, during his trial, he was held in jail.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after the sentencing and all the court hearings and all that stuff, that's when he went to prison. And he spent exactly 1 month in prison, and that's when they found him hung from his cell.
And I was under the impression it wasn't where he was going to be permanently housed, but it was a temporary setting for him to get acclimated to prison life. Now, I don't know how.
I don't know why would they try to acclimate anybody that did some sort of crime. I mean, if you go to a Pacific prison, that's the prison you're going to remain at unless you are on good behavior and all the other nonsense, and they move you to a different facility. But I don't think it had anything with doing. I don't think it had anything to do with acclimating him to get him, into the system itself.
And it was in Orient, Ohio, which is, I guess, right around the Columbus area. So I guess they wanted to get him as far away from northeastern Ohio as he could. And if he didn't hang himself, he would have spent his entire life in solitary confinement, being checked on every 30 minutes without being sent in general population.
I do want to say this, though, especially with the whole Ariel Castro thing, where it's, the prison guards had to watch him every 30 minutes and everything and all that stuff. The question, you can't blame the prison guards, and you're hearing all kinds of rumors going around saying that, oh, it's a conspiracy. Some people are saying that someone did something to him in prison or whatever. No, most prisons, a buddy of mine, he worked at some sort of like mental institution, and it's pretty much the same setup as a prison, At the end of the hallway, they have these things called fob cards, and you have to wave your fob card on the sensor to let the computer know that, hey, you're checking this aisle or this hallway for anything out of the ordinary. And then when you go to the end of the hallway, you wave the card again, saying, that would say to the computer, I checked this hallway. So there's no way that you can skip it. You can't just go to one end to the other. You have to actually physically look at each one of these prison cells or whatever, or each one of these rooms. So there's no way you would miss it.
And I don't think there's a way for anyone to sneak past a cracked door if it was left open or anything, because you have to assume there are TV cameras everywhere.
Right, in the hallways too. At the end of the hallway, at the beginning of the hallway, and at the end of the hallway, there's always there's some sort of TV camera set up or whatever. And then also you got the prison guards always walking back and forth. You got people coming from the infirmary. You got people coming back from sentencings, from people that have court dates. So there's always someone that's going to be coming down your aisle that you're in. So I don't think you can really blame the prison guards or the prison in any of it, because the dude just found the opportunity, found the right time, and said, you know what, I have 30 minutes to kill myself before the next guard shift comes. So
and it was just I kept kind of, like I told you before the show, I kept kind of quiet about it, because there are a lot of people out there that were very upset that he wasn't given the death penalty for everything he did, and giving him life in prison was wrong, and he should have died. And those same people are now upset that he killed himself, and it's just kind of hypocritical, saying, well, a month ago you were against it, now you're upset that he's gone, and you're the one saying, well, he should be put to death because it's our tax dollars keeping him alive for the next X number of years. And
I was looking at the MSC Facebook page, and a lot of people were saying, I'm glad he's gone. Even the attorney Ariel Castro said how he's discussed it with people for them rejoicing that he's dead. Well, I mean, come on. I mean, the guy took these women captive for 10 years or whatever, and you're not supposed to, feel any kind of like remorse when you found out this guy's, dead. A lot of people were saying, well, I wish he would have spent a decade and, in jail, so that way he got a taste of at least, you know, what he was doing to those girls or whatever. But here's the difference between that. He's locked up in a prison. He's able to roam and walk around a cell. He's able to go to, you know, different things in the prison or whatever. These girls couldn't even walk out of the house or anything. So, you know, I'm not defending Ariel at all, and don't think I am. I'm glad. You know, to be honest with you, I'm glad that we're not paying for his incarceration anymore, because, you know, by the end of the whole thing, before, you know, after he's dead or whatever, they're talking about $750,000 that we would have to spend taxpayer money to house this guy. So, you know, in a way, do I feel kind of, you know, sad that he's gone? No, I don't feel sad at all that he's gone. Do I feel that justice is served now? Yeah, because he should have gotten the death sentence left on the table when he was on trial.
Yeah, I mean, we all understood. I mean, when that first brought up, I said that the plan was not to have the girls have to relive it and testify it. They put it on the table just so they could take it off in a plea agreement. And it worked. I mean, nobody wanted to know what happened, because you know it's going to be brought up, and it's just better to let our imaginations kind of, you know, think about what may have happened, may not have happened, but not really knowing. I mean, in this case, ignorance is truly blissful, because I cannot comprehend, you know, being chained up like a dog, you know, with chains and not being able to move, being handcuffed, gagged for 10 years. And, you know, I'm glad he's gone. Now, the strange question, because of who he is and the notoriety, as wrong as it is, what funeral home is going to pick him up?
Well, it's family. Here's the other thing that's been going around too on Facebook and Twitter and all the social media websites, and that they're saying that the family is looking into suing the state. I don't know how true this is. This is all alleged, over the negligence of the prison, because they weren't watching Ariel to make sure that he wouldn't do anything stupid. Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's the, like I said, the prison's fault. As far as the funeral home goes, or where he's going to be buried at, I'm sure the family's not going to say where he's going to be or where he's going to go, due to the fact is that a lot of people would go over there and probably flip his tombstone.
Yeah, I mean, the individuals that were killed in the bombing in Boston, a lot of them, local funeral homes and cemeteries, did not and would not accept them, you know, into their cemeteries. So, I mean, I'm sure that no one's going to be thinking about that, but they may have a hard time finding, you know, a permanent resting place just because of the vandalism.
Well, if he's already got a family plot, then it's going to be kind of different, because the plot's already paid for and they knew who was going to go there in the first place.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it's. I mean,
but I highly doubt if he's got a funeral plot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, cremate him and flush him down the toilet.
That'd be the best bet right there.
And just, I mean, and the good part is, because he's gone, the girls have complete and total closure.
Or what they could do is, like, stuff him like they did with that one guy that was on the news one day. They stuffed him and threw him on his Harley Davidson. They could do the same thing with Ariel, you know, and then, like, bury him in his bikes that he, you know, because there was also a story about him wanting his motor vehicles back that they seized, and they were going to give them to the family or whatever. Well, there you go. You can stuff him, throw him on one of his motorbikes, and, you know, or prop him up in your house, and, you know, the family could, and, you know, just have him sitting there in the dining room just looking at you.
Yeah. Is he okay? It's just
right.
Ariel. He's just taking up space.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we had a jukebox, we would prop him up, but
right.
we don't. Or you know, prop him up holding his base.
I can't believe people would do something like that, though. There was, like I said, that story. There was a guy that got buried on his motorbike. It was a crotch rocket. They put him on this crotch rocket, and they positioned him just right on the bike for his funeral. And then the funeral was at his house too. And then they took him off the bike, and then they stood him up in a corner so people can go by and, say their final farewells and everything like that. And I'm thinking to myself, if someone did that to me, I'm coming back and beating your ass, because I don't want to be propped up against a wall so people can see me. Just put me in the ground or cremate me or whatever you want to do, but don't put me on display, like they did with this guy.
I mean, that's taking that, prop me up against the jukebox when I die a little bit too serious.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, someone had to say, someone had to have common sense to say, maybe your final request, but, we're not exactly going to take you to the taxidermist and stuff you.
But that's exactly what they did, though. I mean, they actually had someone at the crematorium or the funeral home actually doll this guy up, and actually they had to actually put pins in him to actually make his arms rigid so he can grip the handlebars.
I never really thought about that. Yeah, I guess you would have to do something.
I mean, rigor mortis kicks in, but I mean, you can actually when someone's in in a rigor mortis state, you can't bend any of their joints or anything like that. But once you bend them and you get them bent, they're loose again. So you're going to have to do something, because rig's not going to creep back up and take effect again. It's just going to, you're going to be limp again. So
yeah.
once the rig, once you break that tension, they're going to have to do something. And they put rods in this guy's arms and legs just to keep him on the motorbike.
Yeah, a friend of the family's passed away over the summer, and he donated his body to science. And
that's something I can't do neither.
Well, especially after this story. So I guess he got returned a couple months, after they got done doing whatever.
Was there anything left? I ain't trying to be morbid. Was there anything left?
They cremated him. That's how, because everything was taken out. But he arrived home FedEx.
Okay, well, that's normally something that usually happens especially when you're. Yeah, I no, I'm serious. That's usually how it happens. I mean, if you've died in, like, let's say North Carolina or something like that, and then you have to have it shipped home. There's no other way to do it but FedEx or UPS.
I was just thinking of getting lost in
But
the
here's
mail.
something worse, though. I was reading a story about this lady. She's bitching up a storm that her son passed away, and he died. They had to split up the ashes, and the person at the funeral home did just that. He split it up, and he put it in different urns and everything like that. But what he had to do in order to split it up correctly, he had to put it in bags, different little bags to put in each one of the urns to give to the family. Well, he used Walmart shopping bags to split it up.
Oh.
Okay. The lady got upset over it. I don't see a problem with it. Come on. I don't. It's a bag. It's not a big deal. Even the father said the same thing. It's not a big deal. He said, I don't think the funeral home actually did it, to spite, out of spite or anything like that, or deliberately, or whatever the case may be. If you burnt me and cremated me and threw me in a Walmart bag, I don't care. It doesn't bother me none. It's a bag, and plus he even I'm going to defend the guy at the funeral home. The family, he was doing what the family told him. He cut the bags in strips, is what he did. Took one bag and cut it in strips, laid some ashes on one of the strips. Then he tied up the strip and then put that inside the urn, and then he split it up to everybody. He wasn't physically in a full-size Walmart bag. The only way the lady knew about it is when she saw a W on one of the strips. And she compared it, and then she compared it to one of her Walmart bags that she went shopping the other day. That's how she found out it was in a Walmart bag.
I have no words.
But the father didn't have any problem with it.
No, I mean, my cousin passed away last week, and the memorial was Tuesday, and that basically is kind of what happened. His final request was half of his remains go to where they spend every summer Ocean City, Maryland, and the other half going to the family plot up in Chardon at Holy Angels. And it was just kind of surreal hearing my cousin go, yeah, I got half of Mike. I'm like, what? And he explained what he was going to do. So I'm glad you said that, because I was trying to figure out how they did that. It's a little...
It's like when all they did was, when they pull the ashes out, they pull it out with a shovel in the first place. All right? When they're done. And then they put it into the urn. And that's how they do. If your body's going to be fully put in that. But if they have to split it up with family, how are they going to do that? Like a little bit in this one, a little bit. No, they have to divide it equally. So they put it in little bags, little clear bags. But the family is supposed to supply those bags, so that way they can split up, like little Ziploc bags. So that's how they have to. The family has to supply all that, not the funeral home. So the guy the funeral director didn't have any other bags. So what is he supposed to use?
Whatever you have laying around, which just happened to be a Walmart
exactly.
bag. All right, that would do it. Next week, Lisa Neoda, Playboy cover model, will be in. Don't forget, September 20th, 8 p.m., doors open for the MSC Radio Network 7th Annual Uncensored Net Noise Birthday Bash. $8 at the door. If you're 21 and under, add $3 to the cover. Rock City Tap House, 5324 State Road in Parma, Ohio. Make sure you're there. It's going to be a blast. Great bands. And everybody loves the birthday party. Until next week, have a great day.
Have a good night, everybody.
Saying take care of your balls, and they'll take care of you.
Okay, thank you all for coming. There's coffee and brownies out front.
And now, get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Okay, people, move along. There's nothing to see here.
I'm Casey Kasem. Thank you for coming by this evening. Keep your feet on the ground and your dick in your pants. Now kindly get the fuck out. And oh yeah, please drive home safely.